Mr Tathagata Satpathy.
Sir, namaskar. Most humbly, I would like to start. Sir, when I went out to the Central Hall, somebody smiled and said, "Have you been listening to the wail of the willows?" So I was struck for a second. I said, "Sorry, I couldn't understand what you're saying." He said, there were two people, both involved with the business of cricket, underlined business. And both spoke long speeches in this house, completely hollow, and giving no message to the country or to the youth. So I said, what is willows? Willows, it seems, are these huge trees in Kashmir, they grow exclusively in Kashmir, from which you make cricket bats. So I then slowly, because I am from a backward district, I am an uneducated person, slowly it dawned on me that it was a pun on two of our shining bright stars on both sides of the spectrum. And sir, the international terror scene is getting more and more grim, and we cannot possibly talk about India, Kashmir or Bangladesh border with Bengal or any such fragmented area of the globe anymore. At a certain time, we thought it is Ayatollah Khomeini in Iran who brought about a revolution. Then it spread. Then the Americans created as much confusion as they could in the world because of their greed for oil or whatever. Then international politics got murkier and murkier. Then Iraq, Saudi, all the nations got pulled in. And today, every country across the globe has become a victim of terror. The politics of terror is a very rich politics. It involves millions of billions of dollars. It's all a business. And it is nothing but that. Just like Maoists poach animals and cut trees and sell timber, this is on a larger scale. But let me come down, let me remember my humble base and remember that we are here to talk about Kashmir and about India. I wonder, sir, when I read the newspapers, that when a young Kashmiri girl or boy wakes up in the morning, opens the door or window and looks out, what does she or he see? What is a permanent fixture? Somebody said that one ex-chief minister said there are no slums, no poverty. This is like the Gujarat model or something. Giving a kind of false image is very easy. But everybody knows, whether it is Tamil Nadu, whether it is Orissa, Bengal, Gujarat, Kashmir, anywhere, poverty is intense in this country. Let us not close our eyes to that. So what does this young Kashmiri see when he opens the door? He sees damaged roads that have not been repaired for years. They are not even motorcyclable roads, because I know people. In Jagannath Puri, there are a few Kashmiri young boys who have shops there. I talk to them. And they tell me, there is one boy called Farhan who tells me that there are no roads, sir, there are no roads there. I said, but you don't have a major problem, you have drinking water. He said, sir, that is a completely wrong information. We do not have clean drinking water in our villages. We do not have roads. Our kids have not seen electricity for decades. Who is blaming whom? What were they doing? And what are you doing? Blame game is easy. But reality is completely different from your politics. And what does that youth see outside? The youth sees an armed to the teeth Indian CRPF or BSF or Army Jawan. That's all. That is India. That is the beginning of the day for that youth. So imagine, Like we normally get text messages, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. They get text messages saying, I have 5 soldiers in front of my house today. I have this man with different weapons that I cannot recognize. The other guy says, take a picture. Take a picture immediately. This is the situation in Kashmir. There is an old English adage, everyone loves trouble. Have we been all, barring none, have we been relishing the trouble in Kashmir? Isn't war a very great fun thing for all those who are involved in a war to make money out of it? Selling weapons, all the arms dealers in Delhi, all the arms dealers across the country, across the world, they love such situations. Unfortunately, sir, in India, every one of us who's a taxpayer is the one who suffers. I suffer daily because the money I pay as a tax to the government, and I am not, sir, I am not saying it is a government of ADMK or BJP or Congress or BJD. I am talking about the government of India, GOI. No matter which political party is there, we are all temporary. You are aware of that. They are temporary. These people were temporary. They have gone. How long will we continue this? When can we cut the umbilical cord and say that, listen, we have done enough. Now let us mend the country. They talk about Azadi. Azadi from what? Have we ever tried? It is not Azadi from the Union of India, maybe. Maybe I'm adding. Maybe it is Azadi from poverty. Maybe it is Azadi to the very existence of my mother, of my sister, of my child. Maybe it is Azadi from this horrible police state that all of us, whether it is Congress or whether it is BJP, all of us have been subjecting them to. They know very well. Let us not underestimate the Kashmiri youth. They are not idiots. They are smart young boys and girls. They know very well, sir, that if India withdraws and they have to join per force by Pakistan, they will have a miserable existence. They do not wish to leave India. They all want to be with India. It is only these misguided few youngsters whom you have been incapable of over decades to handle, to educate, that they are making the trouble because they don't see any future. This crisis in Kashmir, it's not a 10-day, 12-day problem. It didn't happen with the death of one individual who was popular on the social media. It's been there brewing for a very long time. And just last 2-3 days I saw Indian Express, it says in bold letters, government says we will talk to Kashmiris. Who will you talk to Kashmiris? Who are the Kashmiris? That 18, 20-year-old stone pelter, can you draw him to a table? Can you make him sit and discuss with you? Are you even capable? Do you have the means to approach him? You do not. What do you do instead? You create a leader. Like some leader of the past created a leader amongst the Sikhs who holed up in the Golden Temple, and then we had to fight a war in Punjab. Similarly, all the successive governments have been creating leaders in Kashmir. Today, you become the leader, I want to talk to you. Tomorrow, you become the leader, I want to talk to you. So they are not leaders and they have no people behind them. It is because you are helpless. You don't find anybody to discuss with. You are creating leaders. They are not leaders of the people. The leader of the people is that 18, 20-year-old youth on the street with a stone in his hand. Have you ever tried that, like these North Indian people talk, these Hindi speakers, they say, Bete, idhara. Give him solace, take the stone out of his hand, give him a screwdriver, give him a wrench, give him a stethoscope. We are talking about a 16-year-old boy who died, who had dreams of becoming a doctor. Where would you go to get educated? How many education loans have you given in Kashmir? Can you give us figures of that in these 2 years? Forget this evil past, forget this dark past. The people of India have forgotten them and are still trying to forget them. You don't have to make this country mukt of anybody. In democracy, a country cannot be mukt of anybody. Look after your own interests. Look after the interests of the country. In these 2 years, how many education loans have you given in Kashmir? How many micro, small, medium industries have you funded in Kashmir? How many have you set up there? How many youths have you approached that we will not fire at you? What do you deal with them with? You deal with them with the power of the Armed Forces Special Powers Act. Draconian, one-sided, the army, the armed forces, and I am an Indian, I love my country. I am not speaking against my armed forces. But I also wish to state that just like in the Northeast, similarly in Kashmir, the outrage that has been created by the Indian armed forces cannot be ignored. Sir,
Speaking very nicely. That I mean, other members.
Sir, I am also Sir, I am also reading. Sir, somebody objected to members reading. Where is the law that one cannot read? Where is it written? Who are these people to challenge? This attitude must be curbed. Sir, you have to curb it. Sir, Burhan Wani is a terrorist in our eyes. I agree. He was somebody who was against the state of India, the very existence of India. But did he know what India was? He became an icon of the youth. Why? Because he did not know this country. You have formed a government for the past 2 years. Could you not get 5,000 youth trained in ITIs across the country, employed across the country? A central government, with the help of their own party in power in the state government, could not give employment to mere 5,000 youth? I have a newspaper in Orissa. I will take in 5 youths from Kashmir. This is a commitment I am making at a personal level. Can we not do that much? Instead, what do? We stop their newspapers. We stop their media. We ban everything. There are ministers who call the media bad names, like prostitutes. I'm ashamed to be in a democracy in a country like India, where ministers of dignity call the press, call the media such words. So Burhan Wani, when he was buried, I was not surprised to hear he had more than 2 lakh people. Nobody had organized it. It was not a political rally. And some 30, 40 other places simultaneously, there were prayers being held for him. So we have to understand the depth he could go to because he had become an icon. Have you tried to create an icon in Kashmir? Have you, or have these people the courage to put your hand on your shoulders and say that in the last 10 years, we have given so many people from Kashmir the Padma Awards? Isn't there a single man in Kashmir, not a single artist, not a single singer, not a single dancer in Kashmir who can get the Padma Awards? Have you tried to bring them into the mainstream of this country? You have kept them away. You have shown hatred. Only speaking here, mere Kashmiri bhaios and behnos, is not enough. I have to put it into action. Have we done it in action? Prove it. They have no other icon but a person like Wani. You cannot blame the youth for that, sir. If you do not give them an alternative, a positive view to life,
all right,
then
please, is going to.
Nahi, mere ko acha nahi laga. I am not supporting it. I am saying when we do not, as a government, when we fail to create an icon which will be positive, which will be positive in their outset. When their mind sees a positive icon, they will follow that icon. If that icon can be an Indian, can be a Kashmiri, they will follow that. A dancer, a musician, Kashmir is such a rich state with culture, music, everything. Can we not make small industries there? Can these youths not be employed, sir? Employment, you would have seen, sir, as a politician through. Sir, what happens with employment? In one village, sir, if one boy there is social pressure. Even those who oppose us politically, they tell their children, go talk to the MP. Be friendly. You may get an employment. You have to create social pressure in Kashmir. That one youth getting a job will create a social pressure amongst other youths.
All right, wind up. Please wind up. Please wind up.
I have, sir, he has been talking negative. I demand time, sir. Sir, the government has come up with a plethora of schemes. Your Jan Dhan Yojana, your Swachh Bharat, not Swachh Bharat, your Sit India, Crawl India, Walk India, Stand Up India, so many Indias. How many schemes have you implemented in Kashmir? I am not related. Please. Please, no, I'm not.
Complete.
When the chair says, I will sit down.
Complete.
Sir, from the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana to Skill India, all these, can we make a concerted effort to schemes are properly, duly implemented in Kashmir?
All right.
If yes, tell us the outcome. Tell us the outcome, because you are in power there. Manmohan, 10 years, it was a weak need, it was a powerless government. But sir, had thought of a policy. He had 4 schemes. How to demilitarize the populated areas, how to allow people to cross over the LOC without hindrance. He had come up with a policy. Good or bad is for history to decide. I am not praising Manmohan Singh, but the government had come up with a policy. Today, that policy is... What is your policy? Sir, I will wind up with only one last paragraph. Let us not treat every Kashmiri terrorist as a separatist/terrorist. The mindset that creates a feeling of separatism, which in turn creates militancy, stems from deep-rooted frustration with a non-responsive system. The central government's agenda should be to create jobs, create industries, to create more opportunities, and to find a way to bring true democracy and long-lasting peace to the state of Jammu and Kashmir. I would urge the government to give priority to economic empowerment and not military entrenchment.
Okay.
Thank you. Jai Hind.